The other way of doing this is just to kick the dude. There's a debate that constantly goes around amongst mostly competition shooters, but I think it kind of delves down into the concealed carry shooter. And just to give you a little history about me, I'm by no means a PhD gun guy. I don't know everything. I wouldn't even say I'm a master's level degree gun guy when it comes to guns and tactics. I'd say I'm kind of that undergraduate level professor that you kind of liked. Maybe you didn't because he was a dick at one point, but I can kind of get you where you're going and get you there. And what I'll tell you is that the debate can get much beyond my capabilities and understandings. But the debate is this: when my gun locks to the rear and I have an empty firearm, how do I manipulate it after I insert a fresh magazine, right? So here I am, I'm pulling out a fresh magazine and inserting in the gun. The gun doesn't slide forward because my catch is nice and rigid. Some guns don't have that and get it to go ahead and fall forward. But how am I going to manipulate this firearm and get it back in the fight with a fresh mag? There's two ways to do this with this firearm. This is the 60th Hour 320X5, one of my favorite guns on the planet right now. I can do it two ways, okay? If there is a round in the chamber, I can manipulate the slide to the rear by grabbing the slide, and it will release the catch in the chamber around. Then I can engage my target, okay? The second way to do it, and this was probably the sexier way, is to grab right here, which would be the slide catch. And from there, I can drop the slide catch. One is definitely faster than the other off the jump, but one is going to be more reliable for every single situation. So on this 320X5, you have a pretty pronounced slide catch. That makes it really nice. So when I do manipulate the fire on my workspace, I drop the new mag, I'm presenting as I'm pushing forward, I'm dropping that slide, and that gets me back in the fight. It's not too bad with this gun. But when I start talking about maybe a P365 or 43X, where that slide catch is not as pronounced, boy, you can run into problems really, really quick. Because what's going to happen is you're behind you, and now you're reaching and flicking and trying to do anything to get that slide to fall. So when I teach a CCW class, and we're talking about keeping things very simple and basic because we're in a defensive mindset, a defensive environment, and we want to go on the offensive as quickly as possible, grabbing the slide release and trying to force that down is a fine motor skill, and I want to stay away from those when I'm in a gunfight. I want to grab that slide, and on this one I can grab it in the front, manipulate it back, and it's going to go forward. I'm actually manipulating the slide catch because I do not have any rounds in the firearm that will allow me to do that. So you can also grab it in the back, and then I'm going to actually grab a different firearm here real quick and show you how you do it one other way. And that would be, and I don't like this because I don't like really pushing my sights, but you can actually grab the front of the sights, push back, and let it go if you're running a red dot. I just don't like having that extra pressure on that plate. I know there are good reasons on why you should do it and the efficiency of it. I just don't, it doesn't bode well with me. I think you're running into some issues with possibly getting that loose. You may not have the best weld on here. You may have banged it already. So I don't like to grab that, but that isn't how to do it. So the debate, am I going to use the slide release, like this big one right here? Or am I going to grab that slide because it's back and let it go? I'm gonna suggest that you work one way only, and I would use the slide. I think that settles the debate. What do you think, Rex?
Agreed.